I'm Susan. I love to teach. I love to cook. So let's get going. Oh, and don't ever be afraid to cook. Welcome to my cooking space, the hot stock pot. Let's pick a recipe. Lemon cream tart. Yum. Let's get going. So the first thing we're going to do is some prep work, like squeeze some lemons and get some lemon zest. I'm going to cut the edges off, and that makes it easier to work with. So first we're going to do the zest, and remember, always wash your produce before you do anything with them. So these are nice and clean, and I'm just going to scrape a little bit. I'm just going to scrape a little bit. When you're doing this, you don't want to go too far and get the white stuff because that doesn't have any lemon flavor. It's kind of bitter, so you don't want that. So just go around turning the lemon. You don't need too much, so probably one lemon will do. So looking good. All right. Oh, the smell. This is a perfect summertime dessert because it's so fresh smelling. Ooh, lemon. I'm going to cut the lemon in half so I can use the same lemon that I zested. And I'm going to cut it in half, and I'm going to juice it. This is a good upper body workout. So we're good. So that's it for that prep. And we have all the zest we need here. So we'll do that. Okay, so although this is called a tart, you can still use a pie plate, which I do. I like to use the pie plate better. A lot of people don't have the tart pans at home. So I'm just gonna take a pre-made pie crust, and it's room temperature, and I'm gonna roll it out with a little bit of flour so that it fits my pie plate. I'm doing this right on my countertop, which is disinfected. All right, I think we're ready. So, fold it over, put it in, center that, unfold it. Perfect. And then we just press it in. Like that, voila. So we'll set this aside and start making the fillings. So we're gonna start with the cream layer, the cream filling. So we're gonna take 8 ounces of cream cheese, cut into small cubes, softened, and we're gonna put those into a bowl. One teaspoon of lemon juice. And 1/3 of a cup of sugar. Then we're going to get a hand mixer and make a mixture out of it. Don't forget, when you're mixing something like this, you always want to scrape the sides and get all the stuff that hasn't been incorporated yet. Okay, it just takes a few minutes to do that, and then we get this lovely lemon kind of cream. See? Beautiful. All right, we're going to pour that into our pie shell. Make sure to get everything out of the bowl because you don't want to miss any of this deliciousness. Okay? As evenly as you can make it. All right. Okay, so you want to set that aside, and in the same bowl, you don't have to get a new bowl or anything, we're going to make the lemon filling. So start with 1/4 cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons of flour, again, we don't want to scoop the flour, we just measure it and then even it off with a knife. So here's 2 tablespoons of flour, 3/4 of a cup of light corn syrup, one-third cup of lemon juice, 2 tablespoons of butter or margarine, I like butter, I'm gonna put a little extra, it calls for 1 teaspoon of grated lemon peel, but I'm just gonna add a whole tablespoon. It's better that way. And the reason why we're gonna beat them first is because we're gonna reserve some of it to coat the topping, the top layer. All right, so we're gonna whip them like that. So I'm going to take a couple of teaspoons out of my egg and just put it in a separate container for later. All right, and then the rest of it is going to go in our topping. Then we're going to mix that all up. Okay, now everything's nicely mixed. We have a nice yellow mixture. We're going to take our our pie, and we're going to very carefully pour it over. You want to do it very gently so that you don't disturb the cream cheese layer too badly. So we take the second pie crust, and we're going to roll that out also on a floured surface, but not quite as much as the first one. All right, so then you want to carefully, without disturbing the 2 layers, place it over here, right in the middle. Like that. Perfect. And then form the side crust. You take a sharp knife and you just kind of put a few slits in the pie to give that filling some room to expand. Then you take a pastry brush and just go over the whole thing with that egg mixture that you reserved, just to kind of finish off the crust nicely, very lightly. All right, so I've coated the top of the pie. I've cut slits in there to vent, and then I mixed 1 teaspoon of sugar and a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, and I'm going to sprinkle that over the top, just to finish it. The nutmeg gives it a beautiful little flavor and color. All right, and into the oven, 375 for 45 minutes. And here it is, fresh out of the oven. It is spectacular. Look at that. It's beautiful. You take it out when the filling is just a teeny bit jiggly, but basically set. Look at that. I had to put something around, a guard around the crust, otherwise it was getting too dark. But other than that, easy peasy, and it just has to cool thoroughly before we cut it. Otherwise it's too runny. So we'll see you in a few minutes, well, maybe like about an hour, when we can cut it and taste it. See you then. Okay, so this came out of the oven. It was red hot. We had to let it cool on a baking rack, a cookie rack, and then we put it in the refrigerator for a while, and now it's solid and it's cool, and so now we can cut it and taste it finally. So let's dig in. The top is nice and crunchy. First piece is always a little bit messy. Okay, well, so much for that. Can't really tell. It probably could cool for a little bit longer, but there are two layers. The bottom layer is the cream cheese. I mean, the bottom layer is the lemon, and the top layer is the cream cheese. Anyway, let's taste it. Of course, I don't have a fork. So, but you see there's a cream cheese layer and then the lemon layer. It really tastes good. It could be chilled longer, so definitely leave a couple hours for it to chill properly. It doesn't matter what it looks like. It's so delicious, very lemony and sweet. And the nutmeg and the pie crust, it's all wonderful. It's just fantastic. Give it a try. You won't regret it. See you next time.